Well, the Bengals had an opportunity, although they didn't realize it at the time because their game was finished by the time we knew that the Ravens were going to lose. But the Bengals, who had won 2 in a row after losing 2 in a row, and we've seen a lot of that up and down this year from plenty of teams, they fall at home to the Chargers 41-22, a final score that did not reflect how exciting and close that game was. The Chargers race out to a 24-0 lead. The Bengals come almost all the way back and get it to 24-22, and it kind of holds there for a while. And it feels like the Bengals are eventually going to bust through, and it was a fumble by Joe Mixon, returned by Tavon Campbell, 61 yards for a touchdown. That was kind of the moment that it broke open and it went back the Chargers' way. But, I can't figure out which Chargers team is the real team, which Bengals team is the real team. There's that moment where the ball came out, and there goes Campbell, and you just feel there that the Chargers are going to win this game. And here they are at 7-5. I mean, what a difference for them between 6-6 and 7-5. And that's one of the things that Keenan Allen told me after the game. They understood that, forget about the games you've lost. You look at what's in front of you. And what's in front of you is you get a win, you're in pretty damn good position. And they went and got it.
You look at right now, and I think the most changed graphic we're ever going to see is the playoff picture every week, just because of what we're talking about. And right now they're sitting in the 6 and 7 slot, right? I think the Chargers are 6th and Cincinnati is 7th. And you want to talk about holding your breath of that not staying the same the way we've seen this go. But I'm with you. Listen, 24-zip, you think this one is over. Cincinnati's out of their game plan. They're not getting back into this one. All of a sudden, the start of the fourth quarter is 24-22. So no matter what happened during that game, for players on the field, no matter what happened during that game, you're now in it. You now have a game going into the fourth quarter. It is now a one-quarter game, forgetting everything else that happened. And it was, again, the Chargers that put up all the points in the fourth quarter there like they did early in the game. We know Burrow popped his pinky on his throwing hand. They couldn't find a way to get it comfortable. He says it won't affect it going forward. We'll see how that goes. Joey Bosa leaves with a head injury. We have to wait and see how that goes. Again, as we talk about the war of attrition going on here. But you're right. I mean, I can't, from week to week, I can't figure it out. So they hold the 6 and 7 seed right now, but are we making any kind of guarantee that they're going to be there next year? Or next week? I have no idea. That's been kind of how it's been in the AFC. But I guess that game almost encapsulates the season. Go out to a big lead, someone comes back, you think you got a game, and then it turns into a bit of a blowout again. You just don't really know what's happening week to week.
As to Bosa, one of the many nuggets that becomes almost impossible to fully and completely harvest in the aftermath of these games, he was cleared to return, but Coach Brandon Staley said, I'm not taking any chances with any of my players as long as I'm the coach of this team. He did not put him back in. Another example of how the NFL has dramatically changed in the past dozen years or so, that a guy's cleared medically to return, Mike, and the coach says, no, we're holding you out. That's impressive to me, and that's definitely not the old school mentality that we came to know for a long time in the NFL.
Oh, Mike, I mean, are you kidding? Coaches would do nothing, basically, but listen to the doctor. They had to, because if you're not cleared, he's not cleared. You're not going to do about it, even though, back in the day you maybe tried a little bit. But if that doctor even gave you the hint that he was cleared, he came to you and was lighting up and smiling and okay, back in. Get back in the game. I mean, because the player wanted to go back in without question. That wasn't even a discussion. And as soon as the coach got the okay, it was good to go, let's go. It almost wasn't even, when the doctor told the coach didn't even have to ask the player. That was it. He was back in the game. So this is where we are now. And listen, I'm not going to sit there and criticize. I'm not saying our way was the way it should be. This is where we are right now. If the coach, if he believes that he needs to keep his guy out for health reasons, then so be it. I'm sure you're getting a little bit of a battle with a player in that case of wanting to get back in the game. But to your point, it is much different. And again, in some ways different for the better, but it is definitely different of the way and the mentality that had gone on years ago.
Well, and the process for clearing the player to return today, far more rigorous than it used to be. So it makes it even more understandable if the coach puts him back in, because they're not going to clear him if there's any doubt whatsoever. And even then the coach said, I'm not putting him back in. I mean, that's rare. And now, would he have done that if it was a playoff game and it was close? And but regardless, I don't think I've heard a coach say that when it comes to the very high bar that now applies with the independent neurologists and the spotters and everybody who's watching and making sure that guys are good to go. When they're good to go, they're good to go. So that was a surprise, but that tells me that Joey Bosa should be good to go for the next Chargers game.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.